Let's start off with Friday night footy. Raiders against the Doggies, of course, at Suncorp Stadium to kick off Magic Round. Before I get your prediction, a few stats here. Bulldogs have never won at Magic Round in the
Mm.
past 4 years that it's been played. Raiders have a great record against the Dogs as well. But who are you going in this game?
I would tend to be leaning towards a Canberra victory here. And I
Mm,
think traditionally Canberra have played pretty well at Magic Round. I believe they beat the
yeah,
Roosters one year.
they
Um,
did.
yeah, I mean, doggies have a lot of things going for them, but I just get a feeling that Canberra will light it up on Friday night at 6 o'clock. So I'm going with the Green Machine.
Yeah, Jordan Rapiner back, of course, for the Raiders as well. Massive in. So he moved straight into fullback there with Chevy Stewart. And, of course, Albert Hopewadi played there the week prior. But Doggies favourites, but I'm also going the Raiders as well. This is one of my upsets of the week. I think Raiders can get this done. If you get Ricky's back to a wall, that's where he thrives. So I think all the Raiders need to do is lose, like they do well, and then they'll win from there. So it's fine. It's a recipe for success. But let's jump into our second game of Magic Round. It's the Sea Eagles against the Broncos. Of course, the return of Vegas, mate. Both two Vegas teams. We've played both of them. I think they've actually played each other already this year, but going to be a good game. No Tommy Turbo, so Cooler does move to fullback in this one. Garrick stays at centre, which I am a bit surprised by. I thought they may have just kept Cooler in centre and moved Garrick to fullback, but they've opted the other way. Of course, Cooler with incredible speed. Not many changes for the Broncos. Jock Madden is back though, which is a massive boost for them. So he moves straight into the seven, of course, with Adam Reynolds out. There is some breaking news at the moment in rugby league, but we're not going to talk on that because we don't know enough about it. It is about a Queensland team, but we're not sure what's happening there. Uh, who have you got in this game?
Um, I tend to think that Manly can really pull out upsets on these kind of stages.
Yeah.
However, with no Thomas Travojevic and a host of players back in for the Broncos, Friday night, Magic Round, this is their place. I can't see the Broncos losing.
And they're not even the home team at Suncorp.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Yeah, good one.
Crazy. Mate, it's the Broncos for me. I just have not been impressed with Manly in the past few weeks. And then adding Turbo to that injury list does not help them at all. I'm going Broncos in a big way. I'm going Broncos by about 14. Let's jump into some Saturday footy. It's the Titans, or the Tits, as people are calling them at the moment, against the Knights. Now, Titans, as we spoke on before, they've started really building, mate. A couple of good wins in the past few weeks, a couple of tight losses. Can they get it done, or are you going Newcastle for a victory in this game?
If they hadn't lost Kieran Foran and AJ Brimson, I'd be backing them. I'd be
Yeah,
saying, yeah, come on, Titans. Like, this is them starting to get a roll on. I think it'll just be a little bridge too far, unfortunately, for our friends from the Gold Coast.
mate. Let me read out who the halves are for the Titans in this game. The 5'8" is Chris Randall, and the halfback is Sam Verrills. So
Oh,
two hookers are playing in the
oh,
halves.
that brings a tear
Uh,
to your eye,
does and they
and
don't
not in
even
a good
have
way.
your AJ Brimson who could move back there. Of
Or
course,
Jaden Campbell.
that's right. Keeney is back at the back there at fullback. Look, the Titans team not that stacked. There is a man called David Fafita who is playing, so he will, give them a bit of a chance. But it's the Knights for me. I think what they're doing without Ponga is incredible, and they're just going to keep winning at the moment. They just look red hot. As you touched on before, David Armstrong, huge for them, and he's been really good. So look for him to get a try if you are a betting man or woman as well. But I'm going Knights by about 16 in this game. Let's jump into our next game of the round, Magic Round, 5:30 Saturday, Sharks versus Roosters. Now, you and I both Chookie mans ourselves, Chookie fans. Sharkies looking really good. Roosters looking really good. Uh, Sharks have named Nico Hines. As I spoke on before, Braden Trindle has been named in reserves. So it will be interesting to see if Nico does play. For the Roosters, Joey Manu is out with a concussion injury, which does not help. But a young Pauga comes in, and I thought he's been really building his game over the past few games that he's played and has really started to become somewhat of a household name. So he's doing really well. Mate, who are you going in this game?
Okay, so every metric would tell you that I should be and that the Roosters will win, and I'll be going for them. I'll be cheering them on. But I'll let you in on the omen. Every time I go and watch the Roosters play live, they lose.
Oh no.
And so if you've got money that you don't care about losing, put it on the Sharks because the fact that I'm there watching them live, I guarantee you they will lose. But I hope not. I hope they break the curse this Saturday night.
They'll break it, mate. They'll break it. Roosters won their last 8 of 9 against the Sharks. So great little record there for the Chooks. They're the Sharks hoodoo team. Sharks beat them last year, but before that it was like 7 in a row. Sharks hadn't won 7 years in a row. Uh, going to be really interesting. Obviously, I'm going the Chooks. I've pretty much nailed our scoreline every week, only because I've gone big. I don't think this one will be as big. I could be wrong. I thought that against the Broncos too, and we still won by 40. But I'm going to go a tight one. I'm going to go Roosters by about 8 in this game, but to get it done. We move into our next Saturday game. It's the Rabbitohs against the Cowboys. Most people will call this a bit of a poo slinger at the moment. Rabbitohs 5 straight losses. Cowboys 5 straight losses. Mate, who gets it done in this game?
I'm surprised the Cowboys are $1.34 favorites. Like I
Mm,
would think of if the Rabbitohs are ever going to get a win, it's against the Cowboys.
yeah,
So I'm going to do a Joey and put my faith in the Rabbitohs for this week.
mate, I love to hear it. Alex Johnson, of course, back for the Bunnies, which is a massive boost for them, and Murray Tuilagi back for the Cowboys, so that's huge for them as well. I'm actually doing this for the third week in a row, and I'm going the Rabbitohs, and this time I'm hoping for a win. Cowboys, I've just been very disappointed in them. I just what I've seen. I mean, I have been with the Rabbitohs too, but I feel like the Rabbitohs have really been building over the past couple of weeks, especially once Latrell's been back and now Alex Johnson. And I think they can get it done. I'm going to go really tight. I'm going to go Rabbitohs by 2. Let's jump into some Sunday Arvo footy. It's the Wars against the Panthers. Now, biggest news with the Warriors is, of course, Sean Johnson out with injury. Chance moves to 6 and Tamari Martin moves to 7. So very interesting there. Of course, no Roger as well. So in comes Ali Latua and Tane Tuapiki is at back there at fullback. So that should be good for the Warriors. But for Panthers, of course, no Nathan Cleary. So Jack Cole gets a start at 5'8", with Jerome Luai moving to 7. Look, going to be interesting, mate. But who wins this game?
Penrith win. But interesting with the Warriors. So, one, how far away is Luke Metcalf? Do we know?
I don't know if it was season or not because it was ACL, wasn't it?
Oh, was
It
it?
was
Okay.
ACL or MCL. It was something.
I thought there was a chance of him returning. It's okay, maybe scrap
I
that
hope
idea.
so. They're missing
Um,
him a lot.
but secondly, don't forget, but maybe you got that Tuapiki, so he's pretty handy. Dylan Walker was a 5'8" for years at
He's
Manly.
out, I believe. I think he's injured as well. I
Oh, he's on the
believe
interchange.
Walker. Oh no, he's there. Yeah, sorry, he is there. Yeah, true. True.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's their game plan. Like part of my thinking was you put Walker at 6 and you just really toughen up,
Hmm.
but maybe that won't work against a pretty tough Panther side. Maybe they'll just out arm wrestle you. I don't know. What are you going to do here? Like you're really clutching at straws, a bit like the Titans. You just, whatever fits where and we'll get through. Poor old
If
Warriors. Today is not the day to turn it around.
if Sean Johnson was named in this side, I probably would have tipped the Wires. I think they were
What?
due for a win. Yeah, I had a feeling I was going to tip them anyway, but just with that reshuffle, I just can't. Charns at 6 and Tamari at 7. I can't tip against Penrith with those sort of halves. So it's the Panthers for me. I think they get it done in a big way. I'm going to go Panthers by about 30 points in this game. We move on to our next game. It's the Melbourne Storm against the Parramatta Eels. Look, it's going to be another great game. Melbourne had a loss last week. They'll be hungry for a win. The Eels, they were hoping to welcome back Mitch Moses. He has not been named. So Dylan Brown is in 7. They've dropped young Ethan Sanders and they've gone for Dejan Arce. He's back at 5'8".
Hmm.
So interesting play there. Of course, still no Guffo, no Mitch Moses. Mate, who gets the win in this game?
If Moses was back, because the Eels have this reputation of just being giant killers every now and then. So if Moses
Yeah.
was back, I would have actually given the Eels a real red hot chance.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I do not in this game. That Farlongo is really classy, and he's back at fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muds to do anything. Tyrone Wishart was outstanding for Melbourne last
It
week.
was.
And,
It was.
and he's a bit of a
Utility.
Kurt Mann, Gareth Widdop style player. Like you just play anywhere and play well. And so I'm really liking what he's doing for them at the moment. He's a guy who could have really, like kick stones and be like, oh, I've had my couple of breakout seasons. I'm not getting the attention I deserve.
Yeah.
But he stuck it out and it's really going well for him. Um, yeah, unfortunately, there's far too much to like about Melbourne and too little to like about Parramatta.
And that's another halfback that's still out, of course, Jerome Hughes. He's got a couple of weeks on the sideline as well with injury. So another loss. And of course, Jonah Pezzett, their backup half, he's also injured. So Tyron is doing a great job there. He actually filled out in the wing, I believe, the week before. So
He did,
when you
yes.
talk about being versatile, he's very versatile. It's Melbourne for me. I can't see Eels getting this game. I mean, I have been wrong in the past, not often. I'm usually pretty correct, but I'm going Melbourne in this game. I'll go Melbourne big. I think there's going to be a few big games at Magic Round. I'm going to say Melbourne by about 24 in this game.
Wow.
We move on to our final game of Magic Round. To finish us off, it's the West Tigers against the Dolphins. It's going to be a good clash. Of course, no Isaiah Papali'i for the Tigers. So, of course, into their second row is Alex Seyfarth, which he's not a bad player. I don't mind having him there. And Alex Twal moves into the lock position with John Bateman still injured as well. For the Finns, no Max Plath. Max Plath is injured. Kenny Bromwich moves into the lock position. And the Hammer, as I spoke to you about before, the Hammer is back. So no Trey Fuller. He has been out of the squad. I'm just having a look on it. He's named 18, so he must be in the top 30. So he's named
Okay.
18th
That's a
there.
win.
Yeah, which is great. So, if there is 3 concussions or if the Hammer's not fully fit come game day, could be back in the squad. Mate, who are you tipping in this game?
It's funny, like when you think about these two teams, you see their two images next to each other. You think, oh, this will be pretty close. And then you see
Yeah.
their positions, like their ladder positions next to each other. Dolphins in fourth and Tigers in 15th. Like what your brain tells you when you see these two images is vastly different from their reality. And the Finns are flying at the moment. If this was Sunday afternoon, like so 4 o'clock, I'd
Mm.
say like Dolphins, well, easy 13 plus and maybe more. Like, because the Hammer loves Suncorp Sunday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, Being nighttime, I think that will curb their speed a little, but not by much. And I'd still say Dolphins 13 plus easy.
Yes, and unfortunately, to all our Tigers fans out there, I'm also on the Finns. I think they get this done in this game. I hope the Tigers can keep it competitive. I'm going to say Dolphins by about 14. If you're looking for a couple of anytime try scorers, jump on the Hammer. Back in his first game, I think he'll score a double in this one. So throw him on for 2. And I don't mind Jareen Buller as well, the other fullback, of course, in this game to score a